for joining us on the second day of Sukkot 2023. We'll continue to look at verses from Samuel, focusing specifically on the Hethil root, Yarad, and how we understand the translation of that word in the context of the verse. Stay with us. We are going to return to analysis of verbal roots. We took a break and we're taking a look at nouns for a couple of classes. But at the beginning of the verse that we're looking at today, there's a beautiful verb in a unique conjugation that we have not had too much exposure to. So I thought it would be enjoyable to share that, hopefully in a nicely organized way, to get some exposure to this particular verb class and this particular family of verbal roots. So let me share first the verse that I have in mind. And again, it's from Samuel. We're making great progress with the book of Samuel. We're already on chapter 6, and in chapter 6, we're on verse 15. And just to recap for the sake of following the narrative, our dear cows have pulled the ark all the way back to the Jewish camp in Beit Shemesh. And the ark is now being received by the Jews, and the Philistines are retreating. They've seen that the cows pulled the ark all by themselves to the Jewish camp at Beit Shemesh. So the Philistines are retreating, and now we see what the Jews are going to do, both with the wagon, with the ark itself, and with the gifts that came in a separate chest, the golden mice and the golden tumors. And just as an aside, this is an image from Israel, a modern day image from Israel of an archaeological dig in the Jewish city of Beit Shemesh. So Beit Shemesh exists today as a modern Jewish city, but there are also areas of Beit Shemesh where they've made archaeological discoveries. And this particular image appears to be of an ancient temple, and in the middle of the temple is this gigantic flat rock. And there's a reference to a large rock in our verses, and some scholars have theorized that this is the very rock where they placed the Ark of the Covenant that the cows brought back. So it's kind of exciting when you make that connection between modern day archaeology and the narrative from the Bible. Having said that, the verse in question with this really cool verb is verse 16. Gideon, why don't we start, if I can ask you to read the verse, and then we'll go back and do a detailed analysis of one of the verbs. I appreciate your reading the verse for us.
Yes, I'm ready now. Vehal viim horidu et Adon Yehovah
Aaron.
or Aaron, I'm sorry. Ve'et ha'ar gaz.
Nice.
Asher ito. Asher bo. Halei zahav.
Very good.
Vayasmu.
Careful not to miss the chirik.
Vayasimu.
There you go.
El even Hagdola.
Nice.
Ve'an Shei Beit Shemesh, He'elu,
Good.
Olot, Vaiz, Behu, Zebachim. Zevachim, yeah.
There you go.
Bayom, Ha'u,
Hahu.
Yahahu, Laiva,
La Yehovah.
oh, La Yehovah, yes, I'm sorry.
They missed some of the vowels in this last part. And the Levites took down the ark of the Lord and the coffer that was with it, wherein the jewels of gold were, and put them on the great stone. And the men of Beit Shemesh offered burnt offerings and sacrificed sacrifices the same day unto the Lord. Very nice reading. Just very smooth, well pronounced. Let me ask Maya to mute because we're getting just a little bit of feedback, which we can probably avoid. Let me help in that process. Okay, I think that'll help a little bit. Welcome, Johanna. Nice to have you. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday and happy Sukkot.
Thank you. We had a great service yesterday. I've not been able to make all the services, but I made one yesterday. And they have a beautiful sukkah. That's the name of the hut, the sukkah, at my synagogue. And I was able to go inside of it and make the blessing. And one of the boys brought me something to eat. So I was able to make a blessing over the food also in the sukkah. So I was very grateful for that chance. So that was very nice last night. And the items I shared in What's Up are held out in every direction, shake in every direction, and we believe that we get blessings from God from every direction when we say the blessing, when we shake the lulav. It's called the lulav. So it's been a great holiday, and it's been very fun to share and get some response from the community. So it's been a lot of fun, and thank you for your well wishes. We're starting with the Dikduk, the grammar and the verse today. You missed the reading of the verse. Yeah, Johanna.
Yeah, just that, do you have own sukkah at your house?
I didn't make my own, unfortunately. I didn't find the way to do it, but I'm supposed to. I won't deny it. So not this year. Anyway, we have a really cool verb at the very beginning of the verse, and we're in the book of Samuel, and Gideon just did an awesome job of reading the verse. But the verb in question is the very second word. Do you want to read that for us, Johanna, the second word that I've highlighted?
Okay. It is horidu.
That's right, horidu. And what that means is to bring down, to bring something down. In this case, they're talking about how the Jews brought the ark down from the wagon, along with the chest. They brought down the chest as well. So, sorting out the shoresh, Gideon, the root, is a little bit tricky on this one. There are a couple of things going on. For sure, one of the root letters is missing. And in this case, I think the best thing we can do is go straight to the grammar sheet and get a full review of how we analyze these roots. So let's go together over to the grammar sheet and enjoy that review together. So August, here we have our presentation of the Hebrew root. And we use the Pei Ayin Lamed as a paradigm, as a generic way of expressing the three-letter Hebrew root. We call it the Pa'al. And the root we're going to look at is Yud Resh Dalet, Yarad, to descend. So August, if I asked you to tell me what is the Pei HaPa'al in the root Yarad, which letter would be the Pei
Yud.
HaPa'al? Very
Yud.
good, very good. And Gideon, if I asked you for the Ayin HaPa'al, which letter in Yarad is the Ayin HaPa'al?
It is Resh.
Correct, very good. And the Lamed HaPa'al is the Dalet. That is helpful because we can describe a family of roots based on a common characteristic. And in this case, we're interested in the Pei HaPa'al, that it's a Yud, because the Yud does some very interesting thing. So we call this family that includes Yarad a Pei Yud root in honor of the Yud in that Pei position. And we're going to learn a little bit about how the Pei Yud root works in the verb class known as he feel. And once again, our verb class names use this Pei Ayin Lamed as well. So for example, the most basic verb root is called kal, or the pa'al, the simple pa'al. In this case, we have a causative verb class called he feel. So let's look at what happens to the yarad, the yud resh dalet, in the he feel. And primarily what happens, Johanna, is the yud disappears, and in its place we get a colon. And this is true in all tenses. The yud disappears and it's replaced by a colon. And then the other characteristics of the conjugation are all very typical of the he feel. We start with a hey, at least in the past tense, we start with a hey. And then in many of the conjugations, we have the yud inside. I think as we read through these night after night, you'll begin to get familiar with the standard suffixes. And Gideon, I'll give you another chance to speak. Actually, Johanna, I'll give you a chance since Gideon recited. Why don't you take a turn at reading through the conjugations, Johanna, with the English translations. This would be the he feel conjugation of the Pei Yud root known as Yarad. So go anytime you're ready, Johanna, will be great.
Okay. So it is Horid, bring down. Then I brought down is it is Horaddi.
And very good. And this is one of those, one of those challenging pronunciations of the Shva. You're correct to close the syllable rad, horad. But because it's followed by this tav, we need to give a little oxygen to make a transition. Horaditi. You can go horaditi.
Yeah.
You want to try it once more? Oh, there's plenty of chances.
Horaditi.
That's right.
And you brought down, it is Horadtata. Horadeta.
There you go, horadeta, right.
Right. Surprising, challenging. And that was you brought down. Then you brought down, there is another one you brought down. And that is Horad.
So, yes, horadet.
And he brought down is horid. And she brought down is horida.
Mhm.
And we brought down is horadnu.
Good. Let me scroll up. Okay.
And you all brought down it's horad them.
Mhm.
And you all brought down is horad deten. And they brought down is horidu.
Good. So we see some patterns here. He brought down, she brought down, and they brought down. All have the yud. Horid, horida, horidu. And then the rest of them, and then also, yeah, that's it. And then the rest of them have this rather challenging Dalet followed by a Tav. But the main thing is to become familiar with these suffix endings, the T, Ta, T, Nu. Actually, this hey should be blue because it's a feminine ending. Agus, do you see horidu?
Yes, the last one.
Yes.
The broke
You know, it
down.
was okay. On my screen, it was not any.
Oh, okay. I
yeah,
think
it was
also,
not, it wasn't seen.
I see.
I could
And
not
what is
see
the
it.
what is the translation, Gideon, of horidu?
They brought down.
They brought down, right? I'm gonna make it larger also, since I can. All right, so we've got one word under our belt that we can translate, this idea of bringing down. And you'll be surprised as you begin to try this on your own, how much value you can get out of translating just one verb. Because actually we don't get another verb until the fourth line. So this horidu takes care of 3 full lines, and much of the rest of it is nouns, which we can also look up. So this horidu is gonna take care of us for the first 3 lines. It's the only verb. This first word, v'halvi'im. What do we know about the vi and the ha, Gideon?
Ve means and or in future tense.
Right.
Then ha, if I'm not mistaken, means the.
Right. So in this case, we don't have to worry about the vi changing tenses because it's followed by ha. And ha always tells us we've got a noun coming up.
Yeah, so and the.
And the Leviim. Now we may be able to guess what Leviim means. But it means the Levites, the Levites, the priestly
Yeah.
tribe, the Leviim.
Yeah, Levites.
Yeah. So we have the phrase v'haleviim horidu. How would you translate that? V'haleviim horidu.
So and the Levites are brought down.
Well done. Exactly right.
Thank you.
So using logic, we need to know what they brought down. So you might be able to guess that the next phrase is the object of the sentence. They brought down something. What they brought down was et Aaron Yehovah. Let me teach you guys about the word et, because et is untranslatable.
I think it means unto.
Actually, it's an indication of a direct object. It doesn't have a translation of its own. it's basically raising its hand and saying there's a direct object, there's a noun coming up after me. It's just a part of Hebrew grammar is that we have this particle et that doesn't have its own translation, but it is an indication of a direct object. So et Aaron, horidu et Aaron. They took down the Aaron of Hashem, Aaron Yehovah. They took down the Aaron of Hashem. The et ha'argos. So here's another and et and the argos. So et again is indicating a direct object to follow, a noun to follow.